Okay, another New York rapper, Casanova two times. He recently pleaded guilty to charges in gang-related federal racketeering case. He's another one who was accused in drug dealing and robbery and funding the gang with monies he got from the rap music. He got something like 15 years. Um, in this case, do you think, he got off easy? I mean, 15 years is a lot of time, but would you say that was a good deal for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was looking at 60, you know?
Correct.
So that's a quarter of the time. How old is he? Is he in his 30s, maybe 32, 34? So, he'll get out at some point and be able to live, whatever's left of his life to that extent. This case has been followed because of him getting slashed by an inmate in the jail. This Lugo guy slashed his face, and then Casanova turned around and chased him, and with other men slashed his face as well. Apparently, it was just his face was saturated in blood. That's what the officers were saying. But you have this type of action, and then what does Casanova do? He sits down there in his cell and he writes a letter to the judge, and he's basically asking for leniency. He's basically, renouncing any gang affiliation. He's saying that, he's never in a gang. He's only used the gang image to kind of promote his career. He would never harm a fly. And, where does that really get you? Not a lot of the times, but every now and then you will get people who will write letters to judges, inmates, and they think it's going to help. And it never helps. To be honest, judges never take these letters seriously. What happens if you write a letter to the judge, the person who's going to read the letter, I mean, depending on if you're in jail or not, it could be intercepted by the jail, opened up by the jail officials to read, what the heck's going on. And then maybe it's transferred to the judge's secretary, who is the person that opens the mail. It's not like these judges are sitting here opening and reading their own mail. They have assistants and secretaries to do it. And so the assistant or the secretary will read the letter and will tell the judge, hey, we got this letter. A lot of times judges say, well, listen, I don't even want to read it. Let's just let both sides know that we've got this letter. Let the prosecutors know that we've got this letter, and, that be that. So, when you sit down and you pen this heartfelt letter thinking that's going to work, I think Tory Lanez did the same thing. They don't really understand that at best it's a waste of time, and at worst it can really put your street credibility in question if you're saying that you were never part of the gang, and you don't like the gang, and to the extent that you try to extricate yourself, sometimes it can be flipped back on you, and you're just not going to get any benefit from writing these letters. But he had some exposure. Certainly he and his attorneys felt like there was a lot of evidence against him. No one who takes 15 years thinks that there's not a lot of evidence against them. It's one thing to be offered 3 years and you're kind of waffling, maybe I'll take it to trial because I didn't do it. But if you accept 15 years, if you accept 20 years, you've got some exposure, right? And you feel like that's better than going to trial and then risking getting 60 years. Because, you do your 15, maybe you do 85%, you get out. There's more time than you want, but at least you'll be able to get out and live some of your life if you survive. Him being slashed all up. Sometimes people, they pass away in prison. Hopefully it doesn't happen to him. Hopefully he's able to serve his time in peace and get out. But here again, the gang life, very successful rapper, but also tied into these gang affiliations and is going down. I don't know when people are going to get the message you know, and I hate to sound like some old guy. I'm 46 years old. I understand the optics, but no one can really say that it's worth it. I saw a video of Casanova that he did, some interview that he did. He was talking about, you know, the gang life isn't worth it because you're going to go to prison. When you go to prison, no one remembers you. No one cares about you. Your family members pass away. You know, you think about these people all the time, but their life just goes on. And now here he is years later, accepting a 15-year deal, right? I don't know when we're going to get the message, but there's just no good outcomes. You can look at it from the smallest rapper, the people in the Young Thug case who don't even have attorneys. They got caught up in this mess. They are poor. They have no money to hire even an attorney for a RICO case. You look at someone poor like that all the way up to someone like a Chef G or someone like a Young Thug. It doesn't work out for any of them. But people, I guess we still gonna try.